Hi everyone. This video is intended to help you with unit conversions. In our current unit of electrical principles, it's important to be able to do, because it's quite likely that you will get a problem where they ask you to calculate the energy and to report that answer in kilowatt hours. But oftentimes the power that you need to calculate the energy is given to you in watts. So because they want you to answer in kilowatt hours, you have to be able to convert watts to kilowatts. So the two kind of conversions that you do have to be able to do and be comfortable with is going, as I said, from watts to kilowatts, but also being able to convert minutes to hours, minutes to seconds, and seconds to hours, and hours to seconds. But of course, with time, if you can go from seconds to minutes to hours, it's very easy to go in the other direction as well. But we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're just going to concentrate on going from kilowatts to watts. Now here's an image that I pulled from the internet. I think it's very good because it's very simple, and it's a staircase. Okay, so this staircase illustrates the relationship between the basic unit and then other denominations that we can find of the basic unit. Okay, going up and down the staircase. So first off, you have to understand what a basic unit is. So a basic unit is just a fundamental unit that is used to measure some sort of quantity. If you're talking distance, then the basic unit will be the meter. Okay. If you are talking volume, then the basic unit, and here they have the word bench, but I like to say basic unit. And if you're talking volume, the basic unit is liter. And of course, for our purposes right now, if you're talking power, the basic unit will be watt. Okay, so each of these three units, whether you're talking meters, liters, or watts, is found in the middle right here. This is your basic unit. Okay, a certain value is associated with the basic unit, and that value is 1. All the denominations that follow up and down the staircase are made relative to this basic unit. So if we go up the staircase and down the staircase, it's going to change. Now, if you notice and you look carefully at this diagram, they've changed by a factor of 10. If we go up the staircase, the units get larger. Okay? So if we go up one step, it becomes 10. And 10 is denoted by dA, which stands for deca. If you go up a second step, then it changes by a factor of 10 squared, or 100. Okay? And that becomes hecto. Symbol is H. If you go up 3 steps, and this is the one that we're most concerned with, you get what's called a kilo. Okay? So if we go back in the other direction, right, it's the same thing except now we're going in the opposite direction. So the units are getting smaller. So one step from the basic unit downwards is a deci. So that's 0.1. Okay? 2 steps down, we have 2 decimal places now, 0.01, which is a centi, Another step down would be 3 steps away from our basic unit in the downwards direction, which means we have 3 decimal places after the decimal, so that's a milli, which is 0.001 of the basic unit. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's work with something that we are familiar with. Let's talk about meters. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a meter here. Okay, if we go up 1, okay, we have 10 meters. Meters is changing by a factor of 10, so that's 10 meters. 10 meters is equal to 1 decameter. We go 2 steps, we now have 100 meters. 100 meters is equal to 1 hectometer. Okay, and what's of interest for us is if we go 1, 2, 3, we now have 1,000 meters, which is 1 kilometer. Going in the opposite direction now, okay, if we go all the way down 1, 2, 3 steps, okay, we have 0.001 of a meter, which is equal to 1 millimeter. Okay. Now, if we go ahead and we take away the meter and substitute it with watts, it's the same thing. Okay. So now we can see why, if we have 1,000 watts, 1,000 watts, why that equals 1 kilowatt. I'm sorry, this is all the technology I have. I apologize, but that's just how it goes. So, okay, we go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have 1,000. We have changed by a factor of 10 to the third. Okay, and it is 1 kilowatt. Okay, so 1,000 meters is 1 kilowatt. Now, if you're going up the staircase, you are going to move the decimal to the left. If you go down the staircase, the decimal goes to the right. Okay? So that's how we do conversions. Okay? So let's do a couple of examples. Let's say we have 1,345 watts, and we want to convert that to a kilowatt. Okay? Well, if we have 1,345 watts, okay, we have to understand that we're going from watts, 1, 2, 3, to kilowatts. Okay? So if we're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, then it makes sense that we have to take our decimal place to the left. And it tells you right there. Okay, so if you're ever wondering, hey, I don't really know which way to take my decimal place, you can quickly sketch this diagram out for yourself, and it'll tell you right there, decimal to the left. So our decimal starts in the back here, and we move it over. How many steps do we go? 1, 2, 3. So we have to carry our decimal over 1, 2, 3 times to the left, and then we have 1.345, oh boy, kilowatts. Okay? How do we know it's a kilowatt? Well, that's where we land. Okay? And that's what we want the conversion to be. Okay? If we try another example, so I'm just going to erase this now just to kind of help us out. Let's say we want to convert 843 kilowatts. Okay, so now it's a kilowatt, and we want to convert it to a watt. Okay, well, not a watt, but we want to see how much 843 kilowatts is for in terms of watts. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. So we start at kilo, and we're going to be moving down in this direction. Okay, that's where we're going, and we're moving 1, 2, 3 to our basic unit, because that's what we're asked to do. We're converting this to watts. Okay, if we're going from a larger unit in kilo to something smaller like our basic unit, then we need to move the decimal place over to the right. Okay, so we're multiplying by a factor of 1,000. So here's your decimal place, okay, and you just count over 1, 2, 3, and that's where our decimal place will result. So 843 kilowatts is equal to this number. Oops. Okay. So, and we'll put this as watts. So 843 kilowatts is equivalent to 843,000 watts. Okay? And I hope this helps with your conversions. Just remember, if you're going from the basic unit up to a bigger unit, then you're going to move your decimal place over to the left. And that's equivalent to dividing by 1,000. If you're going from a kilo right back down to the basic unit, then that's equivalent to multiplying by a factor of 1,000. Now this pattern that we're using here, it applies to anywhere on this bench. Sorry, not on the bench, but on the staircase. Okay, so you can convert between, you know, centiwatt to a decawatt. Okay, you can convert anywhere, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I hope that helps.